Success is not handed to you. It's earned in silence, sweat, and sacrifice. If you want greatness, you have to get uncomfortable and stay there. There are no shortcuts, only the path of discipline and relentless effort. This isn't about talent. It's about the fire in your soul that refuses to quit. There are no shortcuts to greatness. That's not just a motivational quote, it's a reality check. In a world obsessed with quick wins, fast results, and instant gratification, this truth cuts deep. Real success doesn't come from hacks, gimmicks, or the latest viral trend. It comes from the grind. From showing up day after day when no one's watching. From putting in the hours when everyone else is resting. From choosing discipline when it would be easier to quit. Greatness is not something you stumble upon by luck or accident. It's something you build. With calloused hands, tired eyes, and a relentless heart. You see, most people want the results, but they don't want the process. They want the destination without the journey. But you can't skip the struggle and expect to enjoy the reward. That's not how this works. Every truly great person you admire, whether in business, sports, art, or leadership, didn't get there because they found a shortcut. They got there because they outworked everyone else, because they were willing to go through what others weren't, because they refused to settle for average when average was easy. They chose the long, painful, uncertain road, and that's exactly why they made it. You don't wake up successful. You earn it over time. Every single day is a test of how bad you want it. A test of whether you're willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term growth. While others are sleeping, you're working. While others are giving up, you're still grinding. That's the mindset that builds greatness. The kind of mindset that doesn't flinch when it gets hard. Because it will get hard. There will be setbacks. There will be frustration. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is working. But that's the exact moment you dig deeper. You don't run from it. You rise through it. What separates the top 1% from everyone else is not luck. It's consistency. It's the ability to keep going when the excitement fades, when the praise stops, when no one claps for you. It's waking up with purpose and going to bed with discipline. Greatness isn't flashy. It's not glamorous. It's built in those lonely hours when you're the only one who believes in the vision. It's built in silence, in failure, in doubt, and still choosing to show up with everything you've got. You have to understand that every shortcut you take comes at a cost. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually it catches up with you. You'll hit a wall you're not prepared for. Face a storm you didn't build strength to endure. That's what happens when you skip the struggle. You rob yourself of the power it was meant to give you. Struggle sharpens you. It toughens your mind, stretches your character, and teaches you how to fight. Without it, you're just fragile success waiting to break. But when you earn it, when you grind for it, you become unshakable. You don't get to greatness by doing what's easy. You get there by doing what's necessary. And most of the time, what's necessary isn't fun, popular, or convenient. It's repetition. It's rejection. It's sacrifice. But it's also freedom. The kind of freedom that comes when you know you've earned every inch of your progress. No one can take that from you. So stop searching for a way around the work. There isn't one. The only way is through. Through the discomfort, through the setbacks, through the long nights and early mornings. If you can embrace that, if you can stop looking for a shortcut and start mastering the long route, you'll find a level of strength, wisdom, and resilience you didn't even know you had. And that's where true greatness begins. Not in the easy path, but in the one that demands your everything. Commitment is non-negotiable. If you want to achieve anything truly meaningful, anything lasting, you have to make the decision to go all in. No half measures, no dipping your toes in to test the water, no excuses about why now isn't the right time. You must commit fully, mind, body, and spirit, because anything less than that won't carry you through the storms that are guaranteed to come. Too many people wait around for motivation. They wait to feel ready, to feel excited, to feel inspired. But the truth is, motivation is fleeting. Some days you'll wake up driven. Other days you won't want to get out of bed. That's when commitment kicks in. That's when you do what needs to be done. Not because you feel like it, but because you've made a decision that your goals matter more than your mood. Commitment is the bridge between wanting and having, between dreaming and doing. When you commit, you're no longer negotiating with yourself. You're not entertaining plan B. You're not looking for the exit when it gets hard. You're in it all the way for as long as it takes. That kind of commitment scares people because it means responsibility. It means sacrifice. It means not being able to blame anything or anyone else when you fall short. But it also means power. The power to control your outcome, the power to shape your future, and the power to push past what you once thought was your limit. And make no mistake, you will be tested. There will be obstacles. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you question everything. Commitment doesn't mean everything goes smoothly. It means you stay the course even when nothing seems to be working. It means showing up when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're doubting yourself. Commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you made that decision in has left you. It's easy to stay committed when things are going right. When you're seeing progress, when people are cheering you on, when the path is clear. But real commitment shows up when the results are delayed, when the recognition is absent, and when the journey gets lonely. That's the moment most people walk away. But if you keep going, if you push through, that's when the breakthrough comes. Because commitment is what separates the winners from the wishers. This is not a temporary mindset, it's a lifestyle. Commitment is a decision you make every single day. Not once, not occasionally, but every day. You wake up and recommit. You go to bed and know you gave it everything. That's what it takes to become great. Half-hearted efforts will never produce full-strength results. You can't give 60% and expect 100% outcomes. It doesn't work like that. Greatness demands all of you, not sometimes but always. People love to talk about passion and purpose, but purpose without commitment is powerless. Passion without consistency is wasted energy. What moves the needle is your willingness to stay locked in when it's boring, when it's hard, when it hurts. That's where champions are made, not in highlight reels or big moments, but in the grind that no one sees, the early mornings, the late nights, the relentless discipline. That's the cost of real commitment. So don't just want success, decide for it. Don't just talk about your goals, show up for them every single day. Be the person who follows through, who doesn't quit when it gets uncomfortable. Let your commitment be louder than your excuses, stronger than your doubts, and bigger than your fears. Because once you commit, truly, fully, without conditions, you unlock a level of power and progress that nothing and no one can take away from you. That's the path to everything you want, all in, or not at all. Embrace the struggle, not because it's easy but because it's necessary. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen when everything's going your way. Real growth, the kind that changes you, the kind that makes you unshakable, happens in the pain, in the setbacks, in the fire. Struggle isn't your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Every challenge you face, every obstacle in your way, is shaping you into something stronger. Most people run from struggle, but the ones who rise, the ones who break through, are the ones who face it head on and refuse to back down. It's easy to want the reward without the process, to wish for success without the battle. But that's not how life works. You can't become powerful if you've never been tested. You can't become disciplined if you've never been stretched. You can't develop resilience unless you've had a reason to rise from the dirt. Struggle is what forges greatness. It's what separates the ones who only want it from the ones who are willing to work for it. The fire you're walking through, it's refining you. It's removing the weakness, the fear, the self-doubt, and it's revealing the power that's been inside you all along. When you're in the middle of it, when you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and questioning everything, that's when it matters most. That's when your future is being built. Not when it's easy, not when you're on top, but when you're at the bottom, when you're hurting and you decide to keep going anyway. That choice in that moment is what builds the foundation for everything you're becoming. Struggle doesn't destroy you unless you let it. It strengthens you if you allow it. It's not a signal to stop, it's a signal to rise. The world will try to tell you that if it's hard, it's not meant for you. That if you're struggling, you're on the wrong path. But the truth is the opposite. Struggle is the proof that you're on the edge of something meaningful. It's the weight you have to lift to grow stronger. If everything came easy, there would be no appreciation, no depth, no character. You wouldn't value the victory if it didn't cost you something to earn it. The pain is part of the process. It's not punishment, it's preparation. There's power in facing what most people avoid. When you choose to stay in the struggle, when you choose not to run, not to escape, not to complain, you tap into a version of yourself that most people never meet. You discover just how strong you really are. And that version of you, the one who keeps going, the one who pushes through, the one who gets back up again and again, that's the version who will change your life. Don't curse the hardship. Use it. Let it teach you. Let it develop you. The struggle is building your patience. It's building your endurance. It's forcing you to dig deep and find answers within yourself. And every time you get through something hard, you gain confidence. Not the fake kind that comes from praise or applause, but the kind that comes from survival, from knowing you walked through hell and didn't let it break you. That's real strength. That's unshakable confidence. Struggle is a sign that you're alive, that you're growing, that you're stepping into something bigger. So don't just endure it, embrace it. Don't hide from it, face it. Know that with every challenge, You're being shaped into the person capable of holding the success you say you want. If you can learn to welcome the discomfort, to sit with the pain and grow through it, you become unstoppable. Because once you embrace the struggle, there's nothing life can throw at you that you haven't already prepared to overcome. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the path to it. Every time you fall short, every time a plan doesn't work out, every time life hits you harder than you expected, you're not being pushed away from your dream. You're being redirected, refined, and made stronger for it. Setbacks are not signs to quit. They're signs that you're in the arena. They mean you're trying. They mean you care enough to risk discomfort. They mean you're chasing something bigger than comfort or safety. No one who's ever achieved anything great got there without first failing over and over again. The difference is, they didn't stop. They didn't let failure define them. They used it to fuel them. You learn more in failure than you ever do in success. Success can be a beautiful reward, but failure is where you grow. It teaches you humility. It teaches you grit. It strips away the ego and replaces it with perspective. When you fail, you are forced to confront your weaknesses. That's not a punishment. It's a blessing. Because you can't fix what you don't see. You can't evolve if you think you already have all the answers. Failure gives you the answers you didn't know you needed. It teaches you what not to do so that you can figure out what will work. So many people give up after 1 or 2 tries because they think failure means they're not good enough. They think it's proof they should stop. But the truth is, failure is just feedback. It's the universe asking you, how bad do you want it? Anyone can say they want something. But when the failures hit, that's when the truth comes out. Are you willing to keep showing up? Are you willing to try again and again and again until something breaks open? Because that's what success demands, not perfection. Persistence. Look at the lives of anyone you admire, anyone who's made an impact, built something real, or lived a life worth talking about. Their journey is littered with failure, rejections, bankruptcies, heartbreak, public embarrassment. They've faced it all. The only reason they succeeded is because they didn't quit. They didn't let failure be the final chapter. They turned the page and kept writing. And that's what you have to do. You can't let a bad moment become a permanent mindset. You can't let a single setback become the story of your life. The world teaches us to fear failure, to avoid it. But that's a lie. Failure is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. It means you're in motion. It means you're daring to become more than you were yesterday. Success without failure is a myth. If you've never failed, it means you're playing too small. It means you're living inside a box that's comfortable but suffocating. Real growth begins when you allow yourself to mess up, fall short, and still choose to rise. There's no straight line to success. The journey will be messy. You'll try things that don't work. You'll make decisions that cost you time, energy, and maybe even money. But that's the price of ambition. That's the cost of becoming someone who doesn't just dream, but builds. And every failure you collect along the way is shaping you into someone more capable, more equipped, and more dangerous in the pursuit of your purpose. So stop fearing failure. Stop letting it paralyze you. You're going to fail. That's guaranteed. But you get to decide what that failure means. Will it be a dead end? Or will it be a stepping stone? The ones who win are the ones who fail forward. The ones who learn, adjust, and keep moving no matter how many times they fall. Let failure teach you. Let it sharpen you. Let it remind you that you're alive, that you're brave enough to try, and that you're on the only path that leads to real success. You don't need anyone's permission to become who you're meant to be. The moment you stop seeking approval is the moment you take your power back. Your story, your path, your truth. It belongs to you, not your parents, not your friends, not society. You were not born to live inside someone else's expectations. You were born to live a life that reflects the fire within your own soul. And the world will always try to box you in, to label you, to define your limits. But the pen is in your hand. You are the author. You decide what happens next. Too many people live in hesitation. They wait. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect validation, the perfect green light to finally start. But if you keep waiting, you'll waste your whole life in neutral. At some point, you have to say, this is my life. This is my story. I'm going to tell it my way. That's when real change begins. That's when the fear starts to lose its grip. Because the truth is, fear feeds on silence. It grows stronger when you shrink yourself to fit in. But when you stand up and claim your identity, fear loses its power. When you decide that your scars, your mistakes, your dreams, all of it matters, you begin to rise. You are not defined by your past. You are not limited by your upbringing, your environment, or your history. Yes, those things may have shaped you, but they do not get to dictate your destiny. You do. Every single day you wake up is another chance to choose who you become. And if your story up until now has been full of pain, rejection, failure, let that be your fuel. Let that be the reason you burn so brightly the world has no choice but to notice. You're not here to be a background character. You're here to take center stage in your own life. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel. You don't know the battles they're fighting. You don't know what they had to overcome to get where they are. And even if you did, it doesn't matter. Because this is your path, your mountain, your race. And no one else can run it for you. The moment you start owning your story is the moment you stop being a victim and start becoming the creator of your future. You stop blaming. You stop complaining. You start moving with intention, with purpose, with ownership. People will talk, let them. People will judge, let them. That has nothing to do with you. They don't know your dreams. They don't know your sacrifices. They don't carry your vision. That's between you and the life you're building. And trust this. The more you rise, the more people will try to pull you back down. But that's just noise. Let it pass. You're not here to prove yourself to doubters. You're here to prove yourself to yourself. Everything you've lived through, the pain, the setbacks, the disappointments, it all means something. It's all part of your story, and you get to decide whether it becomes your excuse or your breakthrough. Whether you let it break you or build you. The choice is yours. But whatever you choose, choose fully. Choose with heart. Choose with courage. And never let anyone else hold the pen to your life. Your story is still being written. Your journey is still unfolding. There are chapters ahead that will shock you with how much you grow, how much you overcome, how powerful you become. But it all starts here, in this moment, with a decision to stop waiting, stop hiding, and start living as the author, not the bystander. Own it, all of it. The past, the present, the future, it's yours. And no one can take it from you. Talent might get you started, but it's not what will take you across the finish line. It's not enough to be gifted, to be smart, or to have potential. The world is full of talented people who never made it because they relied on raw ability and never committed to mastery. True greatness is born from obsession. It's forged in the daily grind, in the late nights, the early mornings, the hours no one sees. Mastery doesn't happen by accident. It's a deliberate, disciplined pursuit of excellence. Every day is a new opportunity to sharpen your edge. You either evolve or decay. You're either getting better or falling behind. The difference between those who rise and those who remain average is simple. The great ones never stop improving. They don't wait for motivation. They show up, rain or shine. They study the game. They practice with purpose. They review their mistakes. They chase better every single day. You have to fall in love with the process. Mastery isn't glamorous. It's repetition. It's drilling the fundamentals over and over until they become second nature. It's doing the work even when it feels boring. Even when no one is clapping. Even when you're not getting results yet. It's pushing through plateaus, pushing past comfort, pushing until your best becomes your new baseline. Because mastery isn't a moment, it's a mindset. The best don't chase praise, they chase precision. They know that the crowd will cheer later, but right now, it's about getting it right, getting it sharper, getting it tighter. They understand that greatness isn't given, it's earned, through sweat, sacrifice, and obsession with the details. And they don't settle, they don't cut corners. They're not trying to look good. They're trying to be good. And that difference is everything. If you want to be elite at anything, your craft, your business, your art, your purpose, you have to treat it like it matters. You have to protect your focus. You have to eliminate distractions. You have to be willing to do what others won't. That means late nights when others are sleeping. That means saying no to comfort. That means getting back up every time you fall. You don't quit because it's hard. You keep going because that's the standard you've set for yourself. It's easy to be average. It's easy to rely on talent. It's easy to talk about what you could do. But the ones who stand out are the ones who execute. The ones who take action even when it's inconvenient. The ones who commit to mastery even when no one's watching. The ones who show up for themselves day after day with a relentless desire to grow. And it's not about perfection. It's about persistence. You don't have to get it all right today. You just have to show up and give your all. Because that compound effort, day in, day out, will separate you from the pack. Every rep counts. Every decision matters. Every sacrifice adds up. That's how mastery is built, brick by brick, moment by moment, choice by choice. Ask yourself, are you coasting on talent? Or are you chasing mastery? Are you waiting for inspiration? Or are you training like it's already yours? The world won't wait for you to be ready. It rewards those who prepare, who push, who practice when no one else is willing to. This is your craft, your calling, your moment. Treat it like it matters, and give it everything you've got. Because when you master your craft relentlessly, you don't just rise above the rest, you become undeniable. Greatness isn't stumbled upon, it's built. Brick by brick, habit by habit, moment by moment. There are no shortcuts, no secret doors, just discipline, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to the path. You will struggle, you will fall, but every setback is part of the process. Every failure is a lesson. Every delay is a test. And if you keep going, if you stay committed when it's not convenient, if you embrace the grind when no one's watching, you will rise. This journey isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up relentlessly. It's about owning your story, no matter how messy or uncertain it feels. It's about mastering your craft, not because someone is watching, but because it's who you are. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for applause. You become the standard. You become the proof. You become the storm. Because when you decide, there is no going back. When you commit with everything inside you, when you show up and fight for your vision every single day, you won't just change your life. You'll inspire others to change theirs too. So go all in. Burn the excuses, own your journey, and never stop chasing the version of you that you were born to become.